The Zodiac Killer, a name that sends chills down your spine. The mere mention of the Zodiac Killer evokes a sense of dread and mystery that has persisted for decades. His reign of terror began in the late 1960s, a time when the world was already grappling with social upheaval and change. He terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s. His crimes were not just brutal, they were meticulously planned and executed, leaving communities in a state of constant fear. The Zodiac's ability to strike seemingly at random made him an enigma, a ghost that haunted the streets of Northern California. This wasn't just a killer, this was someone who thrived on the chaos and fear he created. He was a master manipulator, using the media to spread his message of terror far and wide. Each crime scene was a puzzle, each letter a taunt, daring the police to catch him. He was playing a game, a deadly game of cat and mouse with the police and the public. His moves were calculated, his motives inscrutable. The Zodiac Killer seemed to revel in the attention, feeding off the fear and confusion he sowed. A deadly game with the police and the public, he sent cryptic letters to newspapers filled with ciphers and threats. These letters were his calling card, a way to ensure that his name would be remembered long after his crimes had faded from the headlines. The Zodiac's calling card. Cryptic letters. These letters were filled with bizarre symbols and taunting messages, challenging the authorities to decode them. Some of these ciphers remain unsolved to this day, adding to the enduring mystery of the Zodiac Killer. He sent them to newspapers. Each letter was a chilling reminder that the Zodiac was still out there, watching, waiting. The media frenzy that followed only served to amplify the fear, as people across the country followed the story with morbid fascination. He taunted authorities with ciphers. These complex puzzles were a testament to his intelligence, and his desire to be seen as an intellectual superior. The Zodiac Killer wasn't just a murderer, he was a psychological tormentor, playing mind games with those who sought to bring him to justice. He claimed responsibility for a string of murders. Each new crime brought a fresh wave of panic as the Zodiac seemed to strike without warning or pattern. His victims were often young couples caught off guard in moments of vulnerability. To this day, the Zodiac Killer remains unidentified. Despite numerous suspects and countless hours of investigation, his true identity has never been confirmed. The case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history, a dark chapter that continues to captivate and horrify. His case is one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history. The Zodiac Killer's ability to elude capture has made him a figure of almost mythical proportions, a boogeyman whose story is told and retold, each time with the same sense of dread and fascination. The fear he instilled was palpable. People were afraid to go out at night, their lives overshadowed by the constant threat of an unseen predator. The Zodiac's reign of terror left a lasting scar on the collective psyche of Northern California. People were afraid to go out at night, the streets that were once bustling with life became deserted. As the fear of the Zodiac kept people indoors, the sense of community was shattered, replaced by an atmosphere of suspicion and dread. They were looking over their shoulders. The unknown terrified them. The Zodiac Killer's legacy is one of fear and mystery, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the human soul. His story is a cautionary tale, a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we cannot see. Imagine Northern California in the late 1960s. The summer of love had faded. A sense of unease crept in, replacing the peace and love vibe. San Francisco, a city known for its liberal spirit, found itself gripped by fear. The Zodiac Killer became a dark cloud hanging over the city and its surrounding areas. Newspapers became harbingers of fear, each headline about the Zodiac pushing the city further into a state of panic. The unknown was terrifying. The possibility that the killer could be anyone lurking anywhere was the most unsettling thought. The terror began on December 20, 1968. A young couple, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, were parked on Lake Herman Road. This is a lover's lane, shrouded in darkness. Suddenly shots rang out, shattering the quiet night. David was killed instantly. Betty Lou tried to run but was gunned down. It was a brutal and seemingly random act of violence. The police were baffled. There were no witnesses, no motive, and no suspects. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of a nightmare. The Zodiac killer loved to play games. He craved attention. He needed to be heard. He sent letters to newspapers. They were filled with chilling details of his crimes. He included ciphers claiming they held the key to his identity. The most famous of these is the Z340 cipher, a 340-character cryptogram sent to the San Francisco Chronicle. It remained unsolved for decades, fueling endless speculation and fascination. The ciphers became a morbid puzzle for experts and amateur sleuths alike. Could they crack the code and unmask the killer? The race was on. Over the years, the Zodiac case has attracted numerous theories and suspects. One name, however, stands out: Arthur Lee Allen. Allen was a former school teacher with a troubled past and an interest in codes and ciphers. He became a prime suspect due to circumstantial evidence and his eerie resemblance to police sketches. While Allen remained a person of interest until his death in 1992, he was never formally charged. The evidence against him, though compelling, was never conclusive enough to secure a conviction. The mystery surrounding the Zodiac killer has spawned countless theories. Some speculate he was a disgruntled citizen, others a former military man skilled in cryptography. Some theories point to possible connections with unsolved murders beyond California, suggesting a wider web of terror. Despite the many leads and possibilities, the Zodiac's true identity remains an enigma. Each theory, though ultimately unproven, adds another layer to the enigma of the Zodiac. The lack of a definitive answer only serves to further fuel the public's fascination with this chilling case. Section 7. The Cipher That Broke a City. The San Francisco Chronicle's role. The San Francisco Chronicle played a crucial role in the Zodiac case. As one of the leading newspapers in the Bay Area, it became the primary medium through which the Zodiac killer communicated with the public and law enforcement. The Chronicle's editors and journalists found themselves at the epicenter of a chilling game of cat and mouse, where every letter and cipher received could potentially hold the key to stopping a serial killer. The killer specifically targeted the newspaper with his letters and ciphers, using it as a platform to taunt authorities and terrorize the public. Each letter was meticulously crafted, filled with cryptic symbols and chilling threats. The Zodiac's choice to communicate through the Chronicle was no accident. He knew the reach and influence of the newspaper would amplify his message, spreading fear far and wide. The Chronicle's staff had to decipher these complex messages, often working under immense pressure and tight deadlines. The Chronicle became a conduit between the Zodiac and the people he terrorized. Every new edition that featured a Zodiac letter or cipher was eagerly read by a terrified public, desperate for any clue that might lead to the killer's capture. The newspaper's delivery trucks became symbols of both hope and dread, as they carried the latest updates on the case to every corner of the city. The Chronicle's role was not just to report the news, but to become an active participant in the unfolding drama. Its pages were filled with his cryptic messages, creating a climate of fear and uncertainty. The public's reaction to these messages was one of palpable fear. People would gather in groups, discussing the latest developments and speculating on the killer's next move. The Chronicles headlines became a daily reminder of the lurking danger, and the cryptic nature of the Zodiac's messages only added to the sense of unease. The newspaper had to balance the need to inform the public with the risk of inciting panic. The pressure on the Chronicle was immense. Journalists and editors worked around the clock sifting through the Zodiac's letters for any clues that could be useful to the police. The newsroom was a hive of activity with typewriters clacking and phones ringing incessantly. The stress was palpable, as the staff knew that any mistake could have dire consequences. They were not just reporting a story, they were part of a life and death struggle to stop a killer. They were caught in a deadly game, forced to choose between public safety and journalistic integrity. The Chronicle's editors had to make tough decisions about what to publish and what to withhold, knowing that their choices could either help catch the Zodiac or put more lives at risk. The tension in the newsroom was constant, as every new letter from the Zodiac brought with it a fresh wave of fear and uncertainty. The San Francisco Chronicle's role in the Zodiac case was a testament to the power and responsibility of the press in times of crisis. Section 8. A haunting legacy, the Zodiac's enduring grip. Decades have passed since the last confirmed Zodiac killing. The Zodiac Killer, an enigmatic figure who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s and early 1970s, remains one of the most infamous and mysterious serial killers in American history. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer has never been uncovered. This enduring mystery has captivated the public's imagination for over half a century, spawning books, movies, and endless speculation. Yet, the case continues to fascinate and terrify. True crime enthusiasts and amateur sleuths alike are drawn to the Zodiac's cryptic messages and the chilling nature of his crimes. Podcasts, documentaries, and books dedicated to the Zodiac Killer continue to emerge, each offering new insights and theories. The public's fascination with the case is a testament to the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries and the human desire to seek answers to the unknown. The unknown identity of the killer, the unsolved ciphers and the unanswered questions leave a chilling legacy. The Zodiac's ciphers in particular have become a focal point for many investigators and codebreakers. These complex puzzles, some of which remain unsolved to this day, add an extra layer of intrigue to the case. The possibility that the ciphers could hold the key to the Zodiac's identity keeps the mystery alive and fuels ongoing efforts to crack the code. The Zodiac Killer became a symbol of the dark side of the 1960s, a time often romanticized for its cultural revolutions and social changes. The fear and paranoia that the Zodiac instilled in the public contrasted sharply with the era's ideals of peace and love. His ability to strike seemingly at random and evade capture created an atmosphere of fear that permeated the communities he targeted. A stark reminder that even in an era of peace and love, darkness could emerge. The Zodiac's reign of terror served as a grim counterpoint to the optimism and hope that characterized much of the 1960s. It was a reminder that beneath the surface of any society, no matter how idealistic, there can lurk elements of evil and chaos. Evil could lurk in the shadows. The Zodiac's ability to blend into the fabric of everyday life, striking without warning, added to the terror he inspired. His crimes were not just attacks on individuals, but on the sense of safety and security that people took for granted. The idea that a killer could be hiding in plain sight, watching and waiting, was a chilling thought that haunted many. The case serves as a reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of society. The Zodiac Killer's legacy is not just one of fear but also of the enduring quest for justice. Law enforcement agencies, private investigators and amateur detectives continue to search for answers, driven by the hope that one day the mystery will be solved. The case remains a symbol of the ongoing battle between good and evil, order and chaos. It is a chilling testament to the power of the unknown, and the human need to seek closure. The Zodiac's letters, filled with taunts and cryptic messages, are a stark reminder of his desire to instill fear and maintain control over the narrative. These letters have been analyzed and reanalyzed, each word and symbol scrutinized for clues. The enduring mystery of the Zodiac Killer is a testament to the complexities of the human mind and the lengths to which people will go to uncover the truth, and the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries. The Zodiac Killer case continues to captivate the public, a dark puzzle that challenges our understanding of human nature. As new technologies and methods of investigation emerge, there is always hope that one day the Zodiac's identity will be revealed, bringing closure to one of the most haunting chapters in the annals of true crime. Section 9, Beyond the Grave, the Zodiac in popular culture. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror may have ended, but his presence is still felt today. The case has inspired countless books, documentaries and films, each attempting to shed light on the mystery. From David Fincher's chilling 2007 film Zodiac, to the countless documentaries dissecting every detail of the case, the public's fascination remains undiminished. The Zodiac Killer, though a figure of terror, has become a cultural icon, a symbol of the enduring power of mystery and the dark side of the human psyche.